Alright folks, welcome to the IntelFrog Report for Friday, January 13th, 2023. Let's start off in ADSB Exchange. Currently have 300 aircraft up. 300 military aircraft, that is, and that's right on the average number for a day like today. It is Friday the 13th, so might be some unusual things going on. We'll take a look. For heavy lift aircraft, that's C-5s, C-17s, and C-130s, we've got 34 of them up at the moment. Looks like one C-5, a few C-17s, and a mess of C-130s. We've got Teal 81, which is a WC-130J. Looks like it's heading out to California from Gulfport, Mississippi, where their regular base is. I don't see anything else that catches my eye on the map of C-17s and heavy lift aircraft. So let's move on to tankers. $18 total tankers up at the moment. That's a little bit low compared to normal. We do have a few Coronet mission tankers. These 3 tankers with the Rummy call sign are on Coronet missions. Looks like Rummy 74 dropped off with Rummy 71. Let's see if the trails line up here. Yep. And see Rummy 74 had some draggers out from Joint Base McGuire, New Jersey. Was picked up by Rummy 71. Rummy 74 is returning to base. And we've got Rummy 64 that's dragging another set, looks like. See if it'll select here. And it froze. Wonderful. There we go. So these are Coronet mission tankers. These 3 Rummy tankers, and a Coronet mission is tanker support for aircraft that can't make the transit on their own. This is likely for some F-16s that came out of Spangladem, Germany, and are heading over to Japan. We had a few flights yesterday, a few Rummy flights yesterday, taking this exact same route out of Joint Base McGuire, coming up over the northern Midwest, across Michigan and Wisconsin, Minnesota, and then up into Canada. Interesting aircraft up at the moment. We've got Constant Phoenix, WC-135R Constant Phoenix, that's descending into Puerto Rico from Offutt Air Force Base in Nebraska. The WC-135R Constant Phoenix is an atmospheric sampling aircraft. They take atmospheric baseline samples and samples of the atmosphere after a nuclear detonation to confirm and identify where the nuclear detonation came from. They have been doing a lot of training sorties. I suspect this is another training sortie, maybe to take some background samples around the Caribbean or maybe South America. It's done a few sorties before since it was commissioned just a couple of months ago. The other sorties have been up in the Arctic, going way up north of Canada and spinning around in the Arctic Circle for a couple of hours and then coming back to Offutt. Looks like they're touching down in San Juan, Puerto Rico. We had an E6 that was here. It just left this morning. It came in 2 days ago. And that's over the Gulf of Mexico right now, heading westbound. Might be over Texas now. So for other interesting activity, on Monday we had Mission Generation Exercise 23 from Joint Base Charleston. They launched 24 C-17s. Then you can see in this video that they posted, you can see the majority of them are right behind this lead C-17. Sorry that it's so laggy. But that's a lot of C-17s in the air. I believe they launched 24 C-17s. There's been some videos on social media that associated this flight with the FAA outage. Those are false reports. This flight took place on Monday morning at 11 o'clock. They flew low level through Charleston, over one of the bridges in Charleston, and then many of them orbited offshore. Some went north, some went west, but a lot of them orbited offshore. Let's take a look at the ports. We'll start off at the Port of Houston. Still got a backlog of cargo and tanker vessels here. Remember, circles are anchored, arrows are moving. Red is for tankers, green is for cargo, blue is other ships, like tugs and things like that. Pilot boats, light blue. Dark blue is a passenger vessel like this Apollo US here. That's a passenger vessel. These blue ones here are passenger vessels. The dark blue, the light blue are just general ships. They could be tugs, they could be just general ships. Let's take a look at Savannah and see how they're doing on their backlog. They had whittled it down to just a couple of ships, and it looks like we've got just a few ships out there today as well. Yep. Just a handful of ships at Anchorage. That's been pretty normal for them since the COVID outbreak. They've had a lot of St. Louis River. That's a survey vessel, I believe. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And that's likely a tug, the Dodge Island. No, a bulk carrier. Okay. Suction hopper dredger. It looks like they might be getting ready to dredge some of the port here. Let's take a look at California, shall we? Our three busiest ports: Savannah, Houston, and Los Angeles and Long Beach. We got a few ships at Anchorage. Nothing like what we saw months ago, with over 100 vessels out here, several dozen vessels. But it looks like the port's pretty full today. Let's zoom in a little bit closer and see what we got. Oh yeah. So we got some tankers at the Anchorage. We got a couple of cargo ships at Anchorage. We've got a few ships in port. A couple out of China, one out of Hong Kong. Japan. Hong Kong. Not sure where that came from. Looks like it's going to Long Beach. Japan. So we've got several vessels in port, a few that are just waiting at Anchorage. That's normal. Alright folks, that's going to do it for the TheIntelFrog Report today. Sorry it was so short. We'll be back on Monday or Tuesday with a new TheIntelFrog Report, and we'll throw back in the news segment. That's it for now. Everybody have a good day. Thanks for watching.